love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just look up. Crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just look up. Love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up! It's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind, cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't stop, just look up. Back. I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong. You will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you're gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math. When I hate, I attack. immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop.
Baby, I'm gonna talk.
Okay.
Tonight. Hey, Ikechi, can I borrow you for a second?
I'm good, thank you.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. What the hell? Well, I do want to apologize to you, Ikechi, even though you don't want to talk in private.
Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Book 91. Listen, this is the men's only panel today talking about Married at First Sight, but we're specifically going to focus on talking about Emem solely, okay? Emem solely, okay? Emem and Ikechi situation. So I know some people want to have some different perspectives on on Wan and everything else. We're specifically talking about Emem's situation with Ikechi and her new man, Brandon. Look, let me be very, very real with you, okay? What has happened with Emem, yeah, I don't like it. I think it's too fast. I think it's too quick. I think it's too hasty, and I don't know if she has fully healed. Now, because there are glaring red flags that I believe, I'm a little bit concerned for Emem. Now, I do believe that there are exceptions to every rule. So there are people who do get married very fast. They get married after 2 days and they go about their business. But I'm saying in this situation, I'm just seeing a few red flags because she just finished the last marriage with the last gentleman. It was very heavy, it was painful, and it was hurtful. And so I thought to myself that she probably should take a little bit of a break before she decides to get into another marriage, okay? All right? And then it gives credence to what Ikechi said about plug and play husband. Now, does that give Ikechi a pass? No, he's still a prick. That's simple. I'm sorry. He's still a prick. Yeah, it doesn't matter if he was true or not, whether he was right or not. He's still a prick. Because if she was if she wanted a plug and play husband, there's still no reason to call her an arsehole. There's still no reason for you to disrespect her. There's still no reason for you to pretty much call her a predator. There's no real reason for these behaviors that you exhibited that we saw from you. Now, don't get it twisted. Of course, Emem has to take accountability for her passive aggressiveness, the way that she spoke, and that's why she apologized on this episode. Now, I guess that apology was more for herself and everything than really for anything else. But yeah, no, to be honest, if I'm real with you, yeah, Ikechi's still got to hold the L, right? But I will say, all right, that it's a little bit sketchy. So I'm not going to be discussing this by myself. I'm going to be discussing it with the boys today as well. So we appreciate you guys who are joining today. Make sure you guys are joining the membership because it will go membership only in the chat. If you are struggling to join the membership because it doesn't show up, change your device that you're using. Okay, so if you're struggling to get onto the membership, change your device because that's what's happening. Sometimes when you're on your phone, it will ask you have to do it on your laptop or your iPad and do it that way because sometimes it'd be techie like that. I don't know why the internet's like that. I don't know why YouTube's like that. They haven't sorted it out for years. It is what it is. But our good sister Mem is going outside. Okay, we're going out to Silver Surfers out here. You get me? You know, even crowd surfers, I even call it. What's that game? What's it? Surfer? What's the surfer game? What's that game we used to play with a surf something? Anyway, it doesn't really make a difference. But anyway, listen, we're going to have a real conversation tonight. So make sure you're engaged. Make sure you're subscribed as well. All right? And please also like the live because it helps with the analytics, but it also helps with YouTube pushing this video beyond. So please, we've got 103 people in here and climbing. Like the live. Let's get into this conversation because, baby, it is a crazy one, okay? It is a crazy one at that, and we're discussing Emem and Ikechi and their situation as well, okay? So let's get into this video. Let me get the boys up as well, because I think it'll be very important for us to bring them up today and have this conversation. Because, baby, I can't lie to you. It is a little bit crazy. Before I do, let me know in the chat, for those of you who are here, what were your thoughts on Emem getting engaged once more when she has not finalized the divorce with good old Ikechi. Of course, I don't know if Ikechi's trying to hold it up or what, but it seems a little bit crazy. All right, let me bring my boys on now to have that conversation. First person, you know who they are already. You know what I'm saying to you, all right? He is our resident long-standing member who, contributes from around the globe when he can. Okay, all right. The brother likes to tell a tale, and we appreciate the tales. He gonna tell you that he was right about how he felt about this Ikechi and the Emem situation. So we appreciate the fact that our brother is coming in. Is my audio going off? I'm too loud. That's what it is. Sorry, it's my audio. It means I'm too loud. I need to be careful how loud I am. So let me adjust that. Hold on. I'm too loud. Hold on. Let me just do this audio. Sorry. Can you guys hear me now? Is that all right? Yeah, it's good now. It's because I'm talking too loud. The microphone is picking up and it's saying it's too loud. I probably need to buy a brand new one, to be honest. I think it's time. All right, cool. So let me bring on my first person coming onto the stage. Listen, you know who he is, our resident trucker. Okay, all right. He gonna tell you a tale, and he gonna tell you a tale that he is right. Okay, all right. And the brother is always keeping it 100. And I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying to you. He always gonna give you some empathetic viewpoint because he gonna tell you that he had been in the same situation, and I know he's been in the same situation right now. What is the Emem Ikechi situation? Welcome to the stage, Trey. What are you telling me, brother? What are you telling me, sir?
Good evening. Is my audio okay?
Yeah, your audio is good today, boy. Smooth.
Okay. Having some Wi-Fi issues. I think it's the weather. But I just had a quick question. Are we still on principle? Is this what happening? Are we still standing up for the principle of certain situations, or are we just gonna change the facts that fits our narrative in the moment? I just need to know. That's all I need to know. But I guess we'll find out. We'll
definitely find out tonight. Next person on the stage. Oh, you just joined. Fantastic. Next person on the stage is our resident individual who, the brother here is a solid individual. He always gives a good, balanced take. He's always looking to express thoughts from a married perspective, and I appreciate that. He's a stable individual, and I like those kind of people that give good, strong, foundational points when they come up on here. But he gonna tell you the truth if we need to. So I appreciate him. Brother Glenn, welcome to the stage. Brother, how we doing? Oh, we can't hear you, bro. You're muted.
Doing well, man. I'm just saying the plug and play is really real. The plug and play is real, dog. Never thought I would say it, but it's real.
Never thought I would say it either. But look at us. We here.
Yeah. We here. Good to be here, man. Good to be here.
It's good to have you on too.
Always.
Our next person to the stage is a wonderful brother too, okay? A new introduction. He's to the team, you know what I'm saying to you. He's always willing to split the seas, like I always tell you. He's a bit of Marmite. You love him or you hate him, you know what I'm saying to you. But either way, you're going to hear him, okay? So the wind is always going to blow from the north to the south, from the west to the east. It's prime time. What are you telling me, brother? Transform.
I had to put on my beanie because I'm feeling vindicated this week. Very few people were over here saying that Emem was a little bit thirsty. Emem was looking for Ikechi to be a plug and play, and so we're gonna get into it. But I think Trey might have been one of the only other people, but we on our victory lap today, y'all. I'm not always right, but eventually the truth in the record will show that I'm somewhere laying in the right spot when I need to.
I love that. And then our resident deacon. Yes, this brother is a solid individual. Okay, when the Lord was looking for someone to stand in a gap, that was who was standing there. Yes, he as an individual has made sure to hold the pillars upright against the Philistines. This is a brother of almighty strength. He is our resident deacon. He is our pastor here. It is Mr. Sean Davis. How you doing, sir?
What's going on?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling very well. No migraines, so I'm not fitting to have one with y'all either. So we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have a good time tonight.
I love that. I love that. I love that. Boys, let's start strong. Yeah, because we ain't got much time around there. Let's start strong. Okay. This week we got to see Emem and Ikechi. That's what we're talking about today only, right? Tomorrow's super panel, so we'll talk about the rest. But today we are talking about Emem and Ikechi and her new plug and play husband, Deacon. Brandon. And so obviously, I want to get your thoughts on this particular. Honestly, it wasn't shade on purpose. I was thinking too fast. But obviously, I want to get your thoughts on this situation, right? Because, Emem and Ikechi did break up quite recently. They asked for the divorce quite recently. And it wasn't long before, obviously, this Brandon situation. So I really want to just get your immediate thoughts when you saw obviously Brandon then propose to Ikechi, or when you saw Brandon even just speaking to Ikechi and she had developed a new relationship. I want to know how you felt about that, because I'm going to ask about this. I'm going to ask about how you felt about her friend coming into question Brandon. I want to get different thoughts. So what was your thoughts when it came to seeing Brandon, and Emem starting to talk and having those conversations? Because it was very fast on this episode. It was like bang, bang, bang. Before you know it, he's got diamond ring on her hand. Who would like to start on this particular one? I know some people. Yes, Easton, you looked at me, so you can go.
I'm a little bit up in the air because, as the show is edited, as people know each other, like all of Emem and Brandon's scenes were heavily edited and heavily formulated, it seemed like, by the producers and stuff like that. And he's gotten the most shine out of anybody who hasn't been a but a Married at First Sight participant that I've ever seen. Like he came in and you would have thought that he went through the whole 8 weeks as if he was like just a normal contestant. But with that being said, I'm like, is this somebody who she really just reconnected with after seeing from or being, I guess, fellow like colleagues, friends in younger years? Is this somebody, or is this somebody that she's already known, dated for a while, and then is coming back in the picture and they just kind of created a narrative? But either way, that was the nice thing. It made Emem come across as super thirsty, super eager, as she's always been. I understand that she may have mentally checked out of her relationship early on. I mean, granted, what was it? The time frame was rather short in between. It was like, was it 2 days and then 8 days and then 20 days after the decision day was when Brandon's scenes kind of popped up. But just to land this plane, super eager, super thirsty. Brandon, if he doesn't come across as like some Chippendale guy that she done bought to get into this thing, I don't know what's going on, but she going down bad, and we gonna get into it. But I just feel vindicated. I just feel like, there's a lot to this that we have to dig into behind the mentality and the actions. But she wanted a husband. That's what she wants, and that's what she's trying to get.
Appreciate that. Sean, what's your first thoughts on a Brandon, first kind of meeting Emem on our screens? Because obviously, clearly it was straight chemistry. They went straight into things, started talking. It seemed like a really good interaction. But what was your kind of first thoughts about Brandon and Emem's kind of relationship?
Yeah, it just seemed reboundish, and reboundish and rushed. Like she just is just looking for love in all the wrong places and just ready to go from one thing to the next. I guess whatever she felt in this particular, all the hurt she had from, and the regret and the feeling rejected, it just kind of made her look a little desperate to be with Brandon. And he was saying nothing but sweet nothings. So the both of them is just looking Panub in all the wrong places, as they say.
I appreciate that as well. Glenn, what's your thoughts on this Brandon first meeting on MM situation?
Thought she looked too thirsty, man. I really did. I thought she was giving too much. Like Sean said, just a rebound situation. She's looking for love, whether it's daddy love or any type of relationship love. She just wanted to have a man around. And he was telling her, all his cliches. He was telling her what she wanted to hear. But in that conversation, he was also throwing a lot of red flags out there too. if she was paying attention to that conversation. I'm like, you know, where does dude come from? He just popped up out of nowhere, right? And you just break up with your man, your husband, and here it is, another dude pops up and he want to find you on social media and reach out to you. Just weird. I thought it was weird. I thought it was real weird. Made me really think, what did she post on social media that made him pop up?
Good thoughts. I hear it. Trey?
I thought
First
this was
thoughts.
I thought this was very strange. Very strange. I actually have one or two theories on this. The second one's a little wild, but I guess we'll get in that a little later. First thoughts was, I don't trust this guy. You just come out of nowhere, and then you obviously have all this baggage coming with you. And then I'm looking at Emem like, what are you doing? This don't make no sense. Why are you doing this? You know, and it goes to what me and Issa have been saying for the last few weeks, like, yo, Emem just wants to be married. She's a woman that is just wants to be married. Ikechi did have a point, and she acted like it was just plug and play. It didn't matter who was standing there, as long as she had that ring and that title, you know, which is a problem. Looking at them now, to anybody looking, men and ladies, this is the bad side of wanting just to have the marriage, because the question is always going to be, who are you married to? You know, but we get into that later.
Okay, so obviously we got to see their date, and their date was also they got their first date. So I should say, actually, I can actually play a little bit of a clip for you guys, so you can watch what they were saying in the date. But I want to get your thoughts in terms of then. Obviously, you were saying it was a bit fast, a bit rushed. I want to know what your red flags were then with Brandon per se. But I'll play a little bit of a clip, and you guys can say your thoughts.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
That is bad.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
unfair for you.
Yeah.
How long y'all was together?
Couple months. Not too long. Well, you know.
Wait a minute.
You know, a couple months.
How did you make a decision to...
Obviously, he said he was in a marriage for 10 years. Said he made a he went the wrong way, basically, he said. Okay? He said he went the wrong way. And, you know, the situation was that, you know, it just went its course, basically. But I want to know, what were some of the red flags that you may have spotted about Brandon, if any, concerning him and maybe the marriage that he's in, or even just some of the behaviors that he exhibited? What were some of the red flags that you might have that you witnessed for you personally, if you have any?
Eyes were shifty immediately. Couldn't look at the man directly in the eyes. I always find it interesting, not to, you know, be too critical, but I think that when, you know, if you pick up on body language, or if you're somebody who likes to look at body language, like the way that they look indicates that something's the truth or a lie. He always looked, I do believe, to the right, and that may be a little bit of a telltale. That's not 100%, but that's one little aspect. Two, his biggest thing was how he tries to disarm Emem. And so again, nice guy game goes for all guys. We all use different things, and the easiest thing we try to do is create a sense of security, or we disarm you by showing you that we're safe. And so when he brought up that, oh, he's also an AAU coach, Good with Kids is a way of disarming people, of disarming women. Also, like bringing up stories about your like sick relatives, or sick, or like a time that you're vulnerable. Not saying that you can't be, but he's doing that in ways of trying to disarm her. And also his agreeableness with Emem were all red flags to me. Is just telling her what she kind of wanted to hear at the time, to again bring down that security shield. I mean, granted, Emem doesn't really have a security shield. She kind of just going for whatever at this point. But a lot of times, what initially us guys are brought with is some type of adversarial boundary that women bring up, which is good because that means that you're a little bit apprehensive. You're not just going to fall for anything. But Emem, she don't even got a shield. She easy pickings right now. And Brandon is like, oh, this is easy money. I'm about to go ahead and lay this thing up.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Glenn, what was your red flags about this situation from Brandon? What did you say about Brandon that you thought was like,
one of the red flags was that, sleeping on a sister's couch, right? The other one was, and that's nothing wrong with sleeping when you housing there for a minute, right? When you sitting there for a minute, but it seemed like he was been there a while, right? Been there for a while. So that's one of the red flags for me. First wife, 6 months. That's quick, man. It's very quick. And then he didn't seem surprised. Also when she was talking about her divorce, it seemed as if he already knew, right? That he had been talking to somebody in the neighborhood, talking to somebody who was going around. He followed her on social media. I'm really big on the social media thing because again, her stuff is doing the filming. If you're a friend of hers, you already see what's going on. So she might have been posting doing there, and he sees some things, right? And then also maybe look like, okay, you sleep on the couch, you chilling, but this girl owns a practice. She got a little bit of bread. Maybe he's sitting there looking for somebody to, to grease his pockets a little bit. Because you come out of nowhere. Y'all haven't seen each other since middle school, right? Didn't they say middle school or elementary school or one of those schools? It wasn't like high school, right? It wasn't high school, like 5th grade. So you hadn't seen this, and you just pop up while I'm on this TV show, and then you feel comfortable with cameras. You got mic'd up. You chilling. He feels too for me, for a person who just pop. He feels comfortable on camera. He feels comfortable talking and having a good time with Emem. So those were the red flags that I've seen. Like dude's too comfortable sleeping on his sister's couch, and his first wife he married after 6 months, and you lasted 10 years, and then all of a sudden you're divorced, but never really go into why he's divorced, right? So those are the red flags. If you ain't seen me in a long time and she ain't asking the right questions, he tell me he's divorced after 10 years. My next question is like, why? What happened? Like, come on, Emem, ask some questions. So,
Trey, red flags.
And Glenn just took all my talking points, like immediately. Like this dude lying through his thick lips for real. The thing that caught me, the thing that caught me is the moment he, how long were you married? Glenn was right, but I think he was right for a different reason. Yeah, he already knew. But to me, this seemed like a situation where him and Emem had already discussed this and has been discussing this. That's why I have a little theory about what's actually going on here. Could be wrong, could be right. But something ain't right. The whole situation has been curated for our benefit, all for television. And her cousin was in on it too, which threw me too. Like, why is this back up? Trying to give him the cosign.
The wifey ain't really wifeying right now, Trey. The wifey ain't really wifeying. She's doing you dirty. She's betraying you. She's cheating on you right now, my guy. Yeah, she's in and out. Like the betrayer she is.
I'm gonna switch to my phone.
Sorry. No worries, Captain. Jump in and jump back out. Sean, jump in for me, please.
Yeah, I think the only thing different I would add is that when they did discuss his divorce, he gave a lot of word salad, talking about cars and roads and not being aligned, and it really wasn't clear. Now, I do understand that he's not on the show technically, as a cast member. So maybe there's some details in his divorce that he doesn't want to, reveal. So I'm hoping that some of that word salad becomes straightforward answers when him and Emem talk behind the scenes, because what he just said meant nothing. Because two people with two kids that have been together for 10 years don't end their marriage because the cars are going in two different directions. Like, what is he talking about? how long has he been on that couch? That I want to understand. What are his next steps? What are his plans? Just similar to what Camille was asking the Thomas, like, what's the plan? Like, what are you doing? What are your next steps? Where are you going to live? I would need to see more of that and less of all this jibber jabber and words, performative words that are designed to woo her. I think he, is just doing all the things that he thinks that he needs to do. That is the opposite of what she had. And it's coming off right now at this point inauthentic.
He honestly sounded like Ikechi whenever Ikechi was doing all the poems and grand speeches at the beginning of their relationship. It was kind of ironic, but maybe Emem falls for those type of people.
Sleep on a sister couch made me think, yo, you ain't got no bread. You a firefighter, right? Like, I know you ain't got no bread saved. If we ain't got no bread saved up, like, and did you just come to the city? How long you been in the city? We just pop up from. Those are questions I thought about. You're like, where your bread at? Like, the wife took the house? Did they take the car? Y'all live in an apartment. Like, those are the type of things, I was expecting to hear. Like, I'm sleeping on my sister's couch temporarily because X, Y, Z. And maybe he didn't want to get into it. Sean, you brought a good point. He's not a cast member on the show. So maybe he didn't want to divulge all the information.
The other thing, and somebody brought this up in the chat, because when they were going back and forth and when RAIFU met with them, it seemed like RAIFU and him had a closer friendship. So, wondering if the RAIFU is the one that set this up. It was like, hey, my cousin is going through some things. I know you going through some things. Maybe you two can be a friend to each other. And then this brother went all the way left. Because I think, obviously there's some trust between RAIFU and him based on their relationship. But I think he was even surprised at how quickly things were escalating with the two of them. I don't think he didn't seem completely surprised that Brandon and Emem were talking, but I think the pace at which they were moving was a bit alarming even for him. So that's just some food for thought.
Yo, I agree with you about the pace, Sean. Let me just go ahead and throw my theory out there for my Wi-Fi act crazy with me. I personally think Emem Brandon has been talking for a little while. What I think has happened is Emem found herself in a situation. Oh, don't worry, baby. I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave my wife for you. I'm gonna leave her. I'm gonna leave her. Don't worry about it. And she finally got tired of that. So she's like, you know what? As most women would do when they finally get tired of it, on. And what did she do? She signed up for Married at First Sight. But things didn't really go right. Did it? The plug and play didn't work. So guess who come floating back on in the door? Big old Brandon. Like, because I find everything just a little bit too convenient, a little bit too strange. He just pop up. Obviously, he knows everything that's been going on. I'm thinking like, yo, wait a minute. This dude's been in the background. She's been talking to him back and forth. She got to talk to somebody about this craziness she's been going through. Probably another male perspective. Definitely ain't her cousin. Because Brandon knew. Brandon knew what was going on. Yeah, and to Sean's point, all this new stuff, this engagement, this and that, yeah, that seems pushed. That was a bit strange. That seems pushed. That seemed like he was trying to push her at the last minute, quote unquote, promise her to me, promising what he had been promised her to give. A ring and a commitment. Because I'm thinking his wife probably found out he had a little inside him out. Sounds a little bit more feasible to me. Because a lot of these questions we're asking, normal people ask these, even if really just pop back up in your life? Normal people would ask these questions, but I find it very strange if you think Emem wouldn't ask some questions either. She ain't asked about the kids. She ain't asked about his living situation. She asked about nothing, cause to me, she already knew. It seemed like she already knew. It's all a setup. I'm telling you.
Last little bit I wanted to say on top of that, you also have to recognize that she just got out of a relationship. We don't know who this long-term relationship before she got on the show. I don't know. It just seems a little fishy that you went from a long-term relationship and they wasn't looking for marriage. Then you go on to Married at First Sight. And was planning on getting married. That didn't work out. Then you just go ahead and found Brandon and rekindled after years and years of not knowing each other. Something is not mathing. The math is not mathing on this one.
I agree. It ain't mathing at all. Because I don't know, after a couple of days, you take a proposal with no ring from a dude that you just came back into your life, who just walked in your life, who told you he's divorced. Who told you he's divorced, recently divorced, who told you he got 2 kids. And I'm not calling the kids baggage, but you willing to take all that on? You willing to take all that on without any kind of explanation or anything else? She a saint. That's all I'm gonna say. She a saint.
And last caveat, she looked a little pregnant on the show on the whatchamacallit. I ain't gonna lie to you. Face just glowing, face full and glowing. I ain't no fool, y'all. The math ain't mathing, y'all.
Boo.
I'm with Visa.
Hey, I don't know about the pregnancy part, but definitely will be a glow because obviously, maybe she's happy. But listen, hey, it's a theory. It's not you're not saying it's guaranteed. You're saying it's a theory. So there is. Listen, I mean, he married his last wife, and it probably sounds like it was a bit of a pregnancy thing. So hey, listen, there's things that can happen. I'm not going to rule it out. It's a theory. But I definitely do believe that there was probably some talking about before that, definitely was some conversation. You know what I'm saying? She like let's be honest, we've all lived a life, and that you've seen some things. People that get into another relationship, because they were talking before they exited. Because you know how women and men are slightly different how they exit relationships. Sometimes women, when they're exiting long-term relationships, have already discarded their emotions, their feelings. They've emotionally drifted. You know what I'm saying, Chu? So by the time they get into the next relationship, apparently somebody would say they already done all their healing. They done left you behind and gone somewhere else. So it's more than plausible that she was talking to Brandon, because the speed is very uncanny, and then for him to propose without no ring, it's just shambolic. But it would be acceptable if maybe they've been talking about this. Maybe some of it was a bit for show, whatever. But yeah, there's something on there. There's something definitely. About that connection that is a bit off, and so more than likely, that her friend probably linked them up, I think, as well, and they've been talking ever since. So yeah, I definitely hear it. What was you guys' thoughts then to the conversation with RAIFU then? Because I'll play a little bit of a clip for you guys as well, because they had a conversation. In fact, before we get to RAIFU, we have to talk about actually the conversation they had at dinner that they had. Let me share my clip so you can actually watch it. Here we go.
The energy, did it feel like you had to shake the rust off a little bit, or you hop right back in? Look, it was easy for me to hop back on. It was a smooth transition.
Let me get to.
Well, I gotta get her to dinner.
I just missed it. I want to get what he says right.
Don't worry, I'll leave you guys here to lock up.
Copyright. Sorry, I apologize. I had it, but I clicked off it. But he actually says it's the part where he says about the light. He never had a light until Emem. I want to. Man, them are shaking their heads, cuz. Man, them are shaking their heads. Why are we shaking our heads, bros? What's going on? Why are we shaking our heads? Sean, yes, go for it.
This is stressful. I was cringing. And I want to root for Emem. I want her to be happy. I want things to work out well for her. But it's just all the platitudes, and he didn't have no light till he met her. And shout out to Carla, who has always been the sage voice of wisdom, because, even she was like, what the hell? Where was your light before her? Like, somebody should not be your everything. Very problematic. And what was even more concerning to me is why you leaving strangers in your house to lock up? Like, I would never be leaving no people that I just met 3 weeks ago to be left alone in my house with no camera crews. No. And my dog running around. Yeah, no, all problematic. Very much so.
Not about the specific topic, but I was like, "Ma'am, are you not gonna wear some heels?" She took off her house shoes and just walked out with the man. I was like, "What's going on here? You say you going to dinner? You gonna go in them house slippers?" But that's neither here nor there. Carla clocked it, and she's again really good at clocking it and kind of being aware. But the fact that the guy is like really laying it on thick and being like, "Yeah, I was just in this darkness, and the light, it was a mem." Like, bro, it just seemed like it was so fabricated, and she just was eating it up. And I'm like, are you like you've had a guy who was who could orate and who could use really good words and could put things together and basically laid it on thick to you right before this. You ain't learned nothing from that. Like, I would, with how Brandon was over here putting these things together, he might need to write a book and put it on Amazon and see if he can sell a couple of them. Because Ikechi was doing the same thing and how he was going to love her and take care of her and cherish her. And she went straight from that and getting in how Ikechi act to falling for the same stuff. She had no level of guard or protection up against this, and he just was like, "Yeah, she gonna fall for this," and she did, hook, line, sinker. And so, yeah, that was a huge red flag for me when I saw that. I said, "Yeah, get this guy out of here."
Yo, this is like the second time he used this light at the end of the tunnel. He said that to her when their little first meet up. He was like, "Oh, I just felt like I was in a dark tunnel, just this darkness. This how it felt." And you was at the end. I was like, "What? Really? Yeah, you gonna fall for this?" What? Oh, that's when it went in my head. I was like, "Oh no, this is setup. This is the dude she been wanting. This is him. This is him." Okay. But yeah, I'm glad Claudia did clock it. It seems like she can clock everything else but her own marriage. But that's cool. Yay for Carla. You know what I'm saying? She caught it. Camille face was like, "Nah, wait, what's going on? No, wait, hold on. Explain this, because this don't make no sense. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? He come in there, not shaking any hands, just looking at him crazy, sitting on the couch like he done been there a few times. He know where everything at." And that was she walk out of her band shoes. That was kind of funny. I was like, what you doing? Okay, all right. Lock the dog up, but yeah, it's. Now go ahead.
I'm not trying to interrupt nobody, but I just had a light bulb pop in my head. She got to know this man beforehand, because when the dog, he was playing with the dog. The dog was familiar with that. The dog knew that man, y'all.
The dog knew
him. Talking to y'all, he was playing with the dog. That dog
I caught that too. I caught that too.
Okay. I'm sorry for deterring the conversation, but y'all talking about this. I'm like, wait, he seemed really comfy in this apartment. Yeah. The dog seemed real too familiar with this man. Something the math ain't math, y'all.
The dog knew. Are you right, Ease? I'm glad you said it. I caught that when I was watching the show. I was like, man, that dog really is cool with him. That's okay. Especially when somebody new come in, because I remember that dog came in when Ikechi came in. It didn't act like that. It didn't act like that. That dog was very standoffish when Ikechi came in the first time. Like, oh, okay, who this? He come in there, whoo, he happy as heck. I'm like, oh, nah. That dog knew him. Him be him before he took me out before. I'm comfortable with him. Yeah.
Listen, I have Abby trained. If any new women come, she is very friendly to them. She is, and so Emem also has her dog trained well. So some dogs can be very friendly. What'd you say?
That's because That's because you diabolical. Quit playing.
No,
Yo.
Deacon. Yes, Glenn.
Bishop Don Juan, man. The way he was coming off, it seemed like Bishop Don Juan. You know what I'm saying? He came off smooth, saying what he want to say. Again, if she's your light, how quick have you been divorced? And that means for 10 years you stayed in darkness, right? If so you stayed in darkness for 10 years just so you can come to the tunnel of your light. Come on, man. Look, and he's real comfortable in the house, right? He got to be comfortable because he got tired of staying on his sister's couch. So when he told Emem that, yo, I've been staying on my sister's couch, she's like, well, I got a couch you can stay on. She invited him over to the house. He been staying at Emem's place and nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Ikechi didn't want to stay there because of the toaster oven and the air fryer and all that other stuff. Dude, like, I need a place to lay my head. So let me go ahead and hook up with you and let me find that place. You know, and that's why the dog's familiar. He's been around there for a while. My thing is like, yo, you're a firefighter. What's your shift? When you go to work? What shift you on? You know, so it's comfortable. I think it was produced well by production. Production produced it. I'm like, Sean, you're not staying in my house. Everybody got to go. When I get up out of here, everything I go, I ain't missing nothing. I don't trust none of y'all. I like you, but I don't trust you. You know, but that's the thing with, you know, Emem. I think they're playing games, right? They're playing games. When she didn't want, when she found out that Ikechi and stuff was over, she opened up the Rolodex again. She went back into the DMs. She went back to the person that she might have been talking to beforehand. You know, they were set up on a blind date before. So that's what the People article said. So when y'all go on this blind date? So that means y'all been on a blind date recently. It wasn't just when you was in the 5th grade. So something going on. It's real weird and it smells fishy. But yeah, for him to say that she's his light, just coming back, let's do theoretically, just coming back into her life, but she's your light already in 3 days. You're a player, man. Get out of here. You're a player, brother. You're playing some games, a lot of games, and she's falling for it though. She's willing to play.
Definitely hear that as well. You guys are spinning. I love it. Corey obviously put another super chat. He said, listen, he's a lieutenant chief for the fire department, which is what he actually did say. He did say that he is a lieutenant as well. So he must be making some good money. I just hope that he's put in the right places. And then he said, I'm not bothered by Camille trying to live through M here. I don't know if that's what Camille was doing. I think Camille is okay with her man Thomas compared to these men. But I definitely hear you. Sure, I hear you. Definitely will pray for you, don't worry. Okay, so obviously there's the scene where RAIFU meets Brandon and have a little conversation. I'll play a little clip as well, because I think, you know, this will be good to have a discussion over as well. So here's a little look.
Because she don't have kids. Okay. I'm a family man, so it's really all up to her.
I am not rushing to have a child, but I'm very open to it.
I understand her situation. She told me about it. I'll wait for her. And ideally, if we can learn each other.
Okay, so I want to get your thoughts on RAIFU and obviously his friend talking to Emem, because obviously this situation, you know, RAIFU's the one that's going to have to give the, I don't know, not have to, but he's going to give a little bit of a go ahead, because obviously he knows Brandon a little bit well. But I mean, he did say obviously that she needs to be, you know, she should be cautious still. You know what I mean? Like, because maybe, like I said, though he's been grown up in his area for 20 years, does he know that man the way that he needs to know him in order to give him the green light to go and date Emem? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to get your thoughts, you know, and how you guys saw that conversation as well with Emem. What was your thoughts of that conversation?
To me, RAIFU is culpable because I feel like he knew about this whole situation as well. He probably, I'm still on my theory, he probably knew the whole time that Emem was messing around with this dude, but didn't approve of it because he was married. It was like, no, this ain't it. But as you see, they've been saying it, he knows the guy. He's cool with the guy. They've been, like, their friendship has remained over the entire 20 years on the way they've been talking. So he won't go but so far down that road of like, you know what, I don't think he's right. Because he knows him. So he's cool with him. And RAIFU seems that type of guy. It's because, all I can do is tell you what's up, what's good. At the end of the day, this is your decision. You're gonna do what you do. I done told you about it. You know what's up. It is what it is. But I did find it very interesting when Brandon said, it's her decision. I'ma wait for her. I thought that was very poignant because it seems like something that was told to him by her before. So now he's turning around to use it. You know what? She waited for me. I didn't fall through. So now I'm gonna wait for her. It's all messy.
Go for it, Easton. What's your thoughts?
I think that man's tired. He tired of meeting these men and being like, she ain't gonna listen to me anyway. So just go and do what you're gonna do. And I think he knows that he knows what type of player he has on his hands. He knows that Emem is gonna fall, and she's gonna fall stupidly, head over heels for this guy, and there ain't gonna be nothing he can do. I think he's like a first line of defense. I think I appreciate that he's covered her as where her father isn't there, but I think he also understands and knows that she is extremely desperate and thirsty for a relationship, and I'm gonna do my best, but I can't govern a 35-year-old the same way I can govern somebody who might be my child or is somebody I have like direct ties to and can like speak to their heart in the sense of like, or speak some type of logic and be like, this person ain't it. He just seemed like he's like, dang, this kind of moving fast, and he just knows what Emem's gonna do is what she's gonna do, and it's probably gonna lead to some type of disaster. But hey, we'll be here with family, and I'm gonna help pick up the pieces, and we're gonna dust you off and try again some other time.
Yeah, I wanted him to ask, like, is your divorce final? Like you pushing her into another relationship, and they just separated. Like, if you're the concerned cousin that he was looking out for when Ikechi was trying to talk to her, like, he should have been more say, hey, hold up for a minute, wait a minute. Even if that's your boy for 20 years ago, hey, she just got out of a relationship. Pump your brakes. Hold up, man. Let her heal a little bit. Like, let her get underneath her feet. You just got finished married because, okay, you just been married for 10 years. Yo, pump your brakes as well, right? Hold on for a minute. I understand y'all grown and you're going to do what you're going to do, but you let her breathe a little bit. And then with the kid situation, he's talking about my family, man. Yo, but you got two. So what are you doing with that two that you already have? So I think, her cousin could have did a little bit. It's not his job to protect her, but he's been protecting her. Like, what's changed over the last 2 months? Because you was on Ikechi's head at the dinner, and he didn't have half the red flags that this dude has. Right? I know that's your boy, but if he has red flags are red flags. So to me, I expect a little bit more out of him to go into with Brandon. But Emem's gonna do what she want to do. RAIFU should have been like, hey, there's things that I don't like. You're still married, but if you want to pursue it, go ahead. But you only been out of this relationship X amount of days at this point. It ain't been long. It's been about a week, maybe a week and a half, and you're jumping into somebody else's relationship already. Not good. Boy, no boy, childhood friend or not childhood friend. Relax a little bit, pump the brakes. So I think that was the biggest issue for me, that he never really told her to pump the brakes in a forceful way, like, hey, hold up. Or tell Brandon, hold up for a little bit. So.
Say real quick, I know he did say that he had just filed for his divorce. Brandon said that, right? He said he had just filed for his divorce, and he had been living on his sister's couch. Am I correct about that? So it had me wondering, how long was he on his sister's couch? Because I know for the state of Illinois, you at least have to be living separately for 6 months to a year before you could even file for a divorce. just these type of questions is the one that came in my head this whole time. I'm like, wait a minute, nah, this is weird. And why are you asking these questions? Like, it was just so strange. The more questions I asked, the more I kept coming to the same conclusion. She already knows all of this. She knows all of this already. This is a decision that she wants to make and had been wanted to make, because this is the guy that she probably always wanted. But for some odd reason, and we kind of see why, or at least in my theory, what was why, because he was still with his wife. Now, we don't know the breakdown of their relationship. At this point, he had him on, so I was like, well, bring home now. He got him on. Might as well bring the crew. Bring up the kids too. Let's interview them. We're gonna do all this. And this is crazy. But yeah, it was just the more we saw him, the more questions I was like, wait a minute, okay, he was on his sister's couch for how long? It had to be a little minute. It couldn't have been, last few weeks, this and that, third, you just now filing for divorce. No. You had to be out of that house for at least 6 months to a year. And you was out of the house 6 months to a year, you ain't found no other place to go. Just a bit strange. It's a bit strange. It sounded like he was. To me, it sounds like he was playing both sides of the fence. To what Kojo said, to what earlier. It seems to me playing his cards to see. Okay. Oh. Marty.
Yeah, it's a little.
Oh. Somebody else.
Like you in the blender, bro.
Pick up where
it sounded like production knew about this though. Somehow it sounded like, and everything that we saw, sounded like production knew that she had been talking to this dude, in a relationship with this dude, to even bring this dude on this show, and for them to have that much time and conversation to even go out, right? Unless they grasping straws and they really need ratings, it seems like if somebody knew that this was her past relationship, and he's back in the picture, or he's back in town. Whether they see him come to the house on these cameras that they have hidden, there's some kind of footage. There's something because we've seen people talk to a lot of people before, or exes before, but we never seen anything like this. This is something different. Where like there's some matchmaking going on between him and the dude Brandon. For production to even go talk to him when he proposed, there's something else you want to say? Like you've been meeting with these people, having a conversation with them. It was strange. So
that's why I don't. Again, it's all speculation. But we need Ricky. We need story time with Ricky. We need Jesse Wu to go ahead and investigate and start to talk to old Brandon's wife and kids. Bring them up. Give them a little space to talk. Have them on a live or something, because we need to get to the bottom of this. Because with the Brandon situation, it just ain't adding up, and it's starting to make a little bit of sense as to why Ikechi, not saying it justifies it, but I'm starting to be like, you're terrible at communicating. You've been a hole to Emem, but I do see where you were talking about a plug and play, and I did see whenever they started to talk about their past at the honeymoon, how his demeanor changed, because I'm sure he probably found out that she was in a serious relationship before, and now that it's coming to light that she was in a relationship beforehand, he's like, well, you just want a husband. Basically, he felt like that. It's starting to make a little bit more sense. I think he still needed a better way of communicating that, but I'm starting to put these pieces together because it just doesn't make sense. And then even when he was asking questions about, how long was she married for and all this other stuff, it just ain't making sense. But at the end of the day, Emem is gonna be thirsty and she's gonna be desperate. And so cousin Rafu couldn't save her. He just tired of meeting with people, with men on camera, and telling his cousin, hey, this ain't it. He basically telling her in more ways than one, hey, this ain't it, but you're gonna be a ding dong anyway, so I'm gonna just let you be it.
Yo, do we think MM told Ikechi about her prior relationship, mainly him, and this is part of the reason why he hit the pause button? 'Cause he's, hey, I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question. There's nothing wrong with asking a question now. It's okay, Sean. It's just a question. It's
This
just
is
a question.
some weird rabbit hole.
We did definitely go down a weird rabbit hole, but this
Yeah.
this definitely is something to this. Like the whole this season definitely makes you have to go down a rabbit hole because you're wanting to go down a rabbit hole with David and Madison now. And this even now you just add on Brandon. Why is this man on this TV so much? He got more airtime in that whole episode than maybe Juan got the entire season. Like, rightfully so, because this is a lot more entertaining. But it just to me seems like there's a lot of theories that could make a lot of sense, and it just makes us go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, the only pushback I would say is that just because MM is coming off desperate and being a poor decision maker, that doesn't vindicate Ike and it doesn't make Ike right. So we just don't want to draw those parallels because then it looks like we were just ready to make excuses for somebody that showed up very harmful. So I wouldn't want us to do that. I don't think that's your intent. But anytime you try to talk about somebody and then say, well, it kind of makes sense that, no, it don't make sense. His behavior was deplorable by itself. Now we're seeing aspects of her personality that are problematic and shows us why she was on maths and needs some help in managing her relationships and not jumping in so quickly.
John, but a couple of weeks ago, you said that people have the free will to express how they want to express it. Maybe Ikechi, he is expressing his disdain and his anger as unhealthily as it was. That's maybe just how he was expressing it. I'm just saying, I don't want to be the police, the emotional police. Some people
Easton, you're very smart, but wrong road. Those two things don't go together. Those two things do not go together. Him expressing himself and being abusive, rude, standoffish, manipulative, that don't go together. But I see what you're trying to do, but no.
Don't want to be the police, y'all.
Let me just make one thing clear regarding my statement I said earlier. Ike's own actions have precluded him from ever getting any type of vindication. Let that be understood. He showed up as an a-hole on this show, so that's what he's going to be labeled as far as we know whenever we see him. That's point blank, period. But that still doesn't mean he probably got some answers to a few things that made him go, "Ooh, nope, this ain't it." She is not the one. That's all I've been saying. I'm just questioning some things here. Just questioning some things. Because you don't go from 100 to 0 without you knowing something or finding out something.
Dang, Kojo, you cut Sean off.
No, it removed everybody. No, it removed everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, apologies. Sorry, Sean, go for it.
I was just
apologies.
making a good point.
As well. I apologize.
Look at the devil. The devil trying to block.
Just removed everybody. I was so shocked. I was like, what's going on? Sorry, Sean, go for it. It actually put you all down, not even just when solo put you all down.
I saw us all coming off stage.
Yeah, you all had to go on stage again. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened there. Go for it.
No worries. Yeah, no, my point was just the way that we're calling Brandon out for being performative. Ike was being performative as well. It was 24 hours that he did that switch from all the things that he was saying. So, no. Ike didn't see nothing. He just did not like Emem. From the moment at their wedding, he was stonewalling her, gaslighting her. When she asked him, was he attracted to her? He was like, oh, I like Kelly Rowland and Michelle Obama. So, no. He didn't see nothing in Emem. Nothing that Emem did is why Ike acted the way he did. And I just want us to be clear about not making that parallel for blaming somebody for somebody's bad behavior. She still has issues. I'm not going to be Pollyanna about it and say, oh, Emem is perfect, she's the best thing. No, and especially now, she is showing up very desperate, very wanting to be chosen, very wanting, just wanting to be, picked and loved and cared for just by any old body, So I think that is something, and that those are some things she really has to work on. But don't see people like that. They look for vindication for that. People that have those types of issues, they look for any old thing. And that's how they keep that abuse cycle going, because then it has the person questioning, like, oh, maybe they're right. Maybe I am doing some things wrong. Maybe that is why they treat me this way. No. We don't want to give those people room, because that room allows them to flourish and continue to do the abusive things that they do.
That's fair, Sean. And I'm all in agreement with that. I'm just saying the same way that production has definitely embellished or at least added on to the story of Emem and basically glamorized her effectively still being in a marriage and dating another guy, getting engaged, all this other stuff. The same way that she gets maybe favorable edits, I think people can also get unfavorable edits. And we don't see anything in terms of what's going on behind closed doors. I'm just saying stuff is starting to make a little bit more sense, not to excuse Ikechi, but I do start to understand maybe his mentality and his resentfulness and contempt for Emem might be a place of, it might come from a place that's a little bit more normal and not nearly as just as narcissistic as we think. I think that we tend to put people as villain, hero, instead of being like, there's probably a little bit more villain in the heroes that we like to claim, and a lot more villain or heroes in the villains that we might claim. And I'm just like, maybe there's just a small tinge. Again, actions are not excused, but also this is stuff that we are seeing and that is heavily edited.
I kind of agree. I said this on our show a couple of weeks ago, and me and Jack got into it. Not justifying Ikechi's behavior, but Emem didn't sit there quietly when he kept going off on her. She might have sat there quietly on camera, but for him to see that he's seen this side of her before, and so now it's present, which gave him ammunition and gave him fuel. But she's not a saint in all this. And I'm saying, and maybe because she got fed up, frustrated, whatever case may be, I always go back to what the family said. There's a side that we didn't see. It goes back to the previous season with Elijah Wan and Katina. Elijah Wan said it. Katina was nice on camera, but when the camera stopped, she gave him the business. All right. I'm not, so at that point, there's a lot of things that that he's done to poke the bear and get that side out, but we didn't see that side on camera. So therefore, because we didn't see that side on camera, we're going to gravitate to her saying, hey, she's 100% innocent in this thing. But like some of you guys said, maybe she talked about this dude too much. Maybe she mentioned some other things to him that wasn't pleasing. Not justifying his behavior, but he checked out early. And something made this man check out, whether he liked her or not. He done read a poem to her, flew his friend in for his wedding, did all these other things, and then all of a sudden put her hand on his junk, and then all of a sudden it stops. What happens?
Well, we've been saying this since, somewhat to Sean's point, I think he was a little cool on her in the very beginning, because we all pointed out that when they first met, everything seemed cool until the minister or the preacher, whoever, said, hey, you may kiss the bride. And he was just about to ask her, is it okay for me to kiss you? And she grabbed his face and pulled him towards her and kissed him. It was up from that moment on, because I could tell he didn't like it. He didn't like it, but he kept flowing with it. But other things happened that we were not privy to. Other things definitely happened.
Again, the edits does not excuse how he may have reacted to this. It's just me, again, somebody who's able to script and write a 4-page letter the way that she did. You can't tell me that she behind closed doors didn't do nothing, or just like you ain't able to bar for bar write this stuff out get this stuff together, have it going in your mind, and be like, oh, just behind closed doors, I'm just sitting on this. No, especially if she's not getting her needs met as a wife. But again, Ikechi, we really don't care because you were on camera an a-hole the same way as we really don't care about Michelle. It's just food for thought. Food for thought.
Listen, personally, I think the situation with Emem, Ikechi, he doesn't get a pass. He's still a bastard. You know what I'm saying to you? He's still a bastard at the end of the day. But what I would say is we can give a bit more credence now that maybe she was doing some other things behind the scene, which may have been also contributing towards their relationship. But again, I'm going to say straight away, still Ike got to be held accountable because that was some bull crap. Like the stuff that he did on camera was crazy. But I definitely take what you guys are saying as well, that there are some things underneath it that we have to look at now differently. But there's some moments where it's like, bro, yeah, you was a bastard. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? But the way that she read that letter, like we said before, we saw how she responded, those are moments that were caught on camera finally. And maybe she had some things that were behind the scenes as well. So, yeah, I think, unless the production were trying to hide stuff for her, then yeah, she might have been keeping things off camera. But then the responses that he's given are crazy because it's not on camera. It's like, you know what I'm saying to you? So how are they catching you on camera, but they ain't catching her on camera? So that's why I say he's still gonna be held accountable. So I hear what you guys are saying. I'm not disagreeing. I still think he has to be accountable, and he'll get a video from me. Don't worry, because even after she apologized, and towards the end, basically was, and I know she said she wanted the worst for you, but you don't have to retaliate with basically they're going to be done in 3 weeks. And then he said something crazy as they were leaving as well. And I was just like, yeah, bro, you ain't no better. You can't talk about her behavior if you do the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, I don't really rock with Ike. He couldn't be my boy. I'm sorry. After I hear you do those kind of stuff to a girl, I'm have to look at you differently, my guy. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, you look a bit sifty. I can't play with you. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's talk obviously then, because after that scene, it was the ring shopping. And I really want to get your perspective, guys. I want to understand, because we asked this question about obviously how we felt about things early on with them two getting together. But I want to know a question. He proposed no ring. He then took her to a ring shop. They looked for a ring. Okay, he then apologized twice. Sorry, he's actually proposed twice. The first time without one, the second one with a ring. Do we believe that he is performing at this point? Do we believe that that was for the cameras? Do we believe that this particular proposal is his way of trying to bamboozle her? What's our actual thoughts of this particular proposal between? Apologies, I've been drinking too much juice water. Between Brandon and Emem. What were we thinking? Yes, Sean.
I mean, listen, I want to go out on a limb, but the way he was kissing that girl all in her mouth, it seemed like he likes her a lot. And I definitely feel like it's expedited, but the chemistry and the way that, and maybe he's got a little delusion. Well, clearly he does, because this is his second time potentially going into a very quick marriage. But I feel like it seems like he's into her. That part doesn't seem fake. His answers seem a little canned, and the words that he's saying, but if we look at his actions, he seemed like he's into Emem. How long it's gonna last, that's another question.
Yep, I hear that. Thank you. Easton.
That proposal, the scripted nature of it, like I'm picking it out, and I've seen it. I've seen dudes be like spontaneous and surprised their significant other, their girlfriend, when they propose. I've seen people go out and pick the right one that they want. It just seemed so over the top, and the story, and it just was like, bro, this again, the math ain't mathing. For logistically, it just seemed a little off. He seems, again, I don't know if he was bought, like if he had any intention of doing that there, or like, why wouldn't you just get the ring first and before you propose the first time? Like when he did it after the dip, like why wouldn't you just wait, get the ring, and then do it? It just seems super. This is sketchy. Like you could have done that whole fiasco, that whole thing, and then did it again somewhere else, or did it right after you picked up the ring. So again, super sketch, but it is what it is.
To me, oh, I'm sorry. But to
No,
me,
go
it was
for it,
very,
go for it.
it was very tacky. I thought it was extremely tacky because it seemed like he was almost pushed into doing that because the first time he did it, they had just talked to his cousin, and she must have went outside with her cousin. That's when he had a little off-screen conversation with the producer, which we didn't get the full context of. We just got one little question from the producer, and then he answered it. And then they brought her back in for him to do that prompt to proposal, which it seemed like, okay, somebody told him something, hey, why don't you just go ahead and propose to her now and see what happens, blah, blah, blah. And so he did. And she was looking like, what's going on here? I mean, okay. I'm like, okay, it's weird. But then you could take her to the jewelry store, go ring shopping, and then propose again. I'm like, well, what's going on here? Ethan's right. If this was really quote unquote real, he would have went ahead and even though he's in a particular situation, you can't be going getting engaged and you haven't even got a full divorce yet, my brother. What are you doing? But besides that point, usually if you really thought you was gonna do this, you would have went ahead and got that ring beforehand and then make that big of a statement. This just seems set up and pushed for a storyline. That's just what it feels like.
Yeah, I agree with that, Trey, man. I think to me, it's more storyline driven than anything else. The same thing that Easton said. If you really wanted to propose, you have a ring. What guy comes to propose to a woman without a ring? And what woman says yes? I've never met one yet. Maybe you guys have, besides MM, that when a guy proposes without a ring, that she says yes. I've never seen it, but I've never seen it. Like this song, y'all, if you've seen it, let me know in the chat. And as all the women in the chat, would you take a guy proposing to you without no ring? I'm just asking, just asking for a friend. Because I'm married one. I don't think it would happen without a ring. So we did it, did it with a ring. But again, it just seems fishy, sketchy. And everybody's asking how you pay for the ring. Man, Married at First Sight paid for that bad boy. You know what I'm saying? He and then he let her pick. I'm not mistaken. He let her pick the one that she want, right? Didn't he ask her, like, is that the one you want? And is that the one you like? So he, she got the one that she wanted. I know we talking about him buying a ring, but for her to say yes is a whole nother story. It's a whole another piece to this puzzle for her to just pop up and say yes after a couple of days. But yeah, it's more TV driven than anything else. To me, it just seems sketchy. For y'all to go to the shop, now you get the ring. Like, nah, it's too weird. Too weird. I don't know any guy that would go down on his knee without a ring to ask a woman. Truth be told.
Look, we got a new thing now. Shoes. We can just propose without the ring. Look.
Yeah, we can propose without the
we have the ring now. Look at it. Look at God. Then you can figure out what you want later after the fact.
Listen, I've seen that before a few times, and it has turned out to be a travesty every time down the road. Every time. But I've definitely seen guys propose without the ring. They actually give you the promise box. Yes, I've seen it. First-hand account. Seen it. But it's a travesty every time.
I'm not assuming, as people say in the chat, we're assuming this man is broke. Not assuming he ain't broke. What I'm assuming is that it doesn't look right. I don't want to count nobody else's paper. It just seems fishy. Divorce is not cheap. Child support ain't cheap. Sleep on your sister's couch. If you walk like a duck, quack like a duck, it might be a duck.
It's a mongoose. Tell you, it's a mongoose. Hey, Glenn, listen, Mavs didn't buy that ring. That's too nice. That was a big cut, emerald cut ring. Nah, Mavs didn't buy that ring. I don't know who fucked the bill.
Oh, that's right.
But Mavs,
If Mav did it when it came from Joseph Allen, right?
correct. Mavs didn't buy that thing. That was a little too nice. I was like, wait a minute. And you're right. I'm thinking like, bro, your money is gonna be a little tied up for a while here. You still going through a whole divorce. We ain't got that figured out yet. You don't know what your alimony gonna look like. You ain't know what your child's payment gonna look like. Like, what you doing? You buying big cut diamond ring, bro? What are we doing? Now, hey, you may got it like that, bro. I don't know, but I heard this before, but it sounds like she really did pick out her own ring with her own money. And if he doing that, hey, pimping all across the world.
The fancy cars, the woman and the caviar.
Yeah.
But I definitely hear you guys. It was definitely a fake proposal. Well, I shouldn't say fake. It definitely felt fake in terms of, not necessarily fake. Let me say this: it felt unplanned. Like it was on the spur of a moment. Like it's like you and your boy are talking one minute, and he goes, "I'm gonna propose to my girl right here." Negro, did you discuss this? Nah, bro. I'm just gonna do it, bro. Like out of the blue. You know what I'm saying to you. Rafi was here a minute ago. Now he ain't. It's like when suddenly proposing the first time, and it's like he was on camera. And again, why it felt a bit performative is because you remember he was on camera. He was having his confessional, and then she came over. Again, she can't leave that man alone. Bloody hell, she can't leave him alone for 2 minutes to do a confessional. Comes over, hey babe, can I? It's like he was looking for a moment. You know what I'm saying to you? So maybe at that point they hadn't told them about the ring. And then later on, production was like, hey, you know what? We've seen her being done so hard by. We want to help you guys out. Okay? Go to a ring shop. Go and get yourself a ring. We got you. So they did it a second time.
Not they got you on the ring. They ain't paying for that. They don't care that much.
Maybe someone felt bad. Who knows? Maybe they allocated the last part of the budget that was meant for food into the ring. I don't know. But...
That's crazy.
Maybe that's why, because they keep using Wan's place for production. But yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I hope he was getting some money for that, because if I was him, they need to be investing in my business or something, because they was using his spot religiously.
He got free promo with the logos all across his shirt every time you see him. So
I was just about to say that, bro.
Juan
better got a cut.
I hope so. I hope so. I really do. You know what I'm saying to you. Yeah, I really hope so. What was your thoughts then to obviously Brandon saying hello to Ikechi, and obviously introduce himself saying, hey, I'm Emem's fiance, blah blah blah. But before you answer, let me read out super chats because I haven't read them out yet. So let me read those super chats out. Because shout out to Corey who's been banging out these super chats. We appreciate you, Corey. It says if I'm lying, I'm flying, and I'm flying, I'm lying. I can't get English out. It is like Ike said. She asked a lot of questions, but nothing about me, and we criticized him. He did say that though. True. He did say that, Ike. He did. Linda B said, wait, why was Madison mad that her and David wasn't the it couple anymore? Man, I wish we could discuss that today, but that's for tomorrow. You know what I mean? I promised myself we're going to talk about that tomorrow. That's warfare right there. You know what I'm saying to you? So definitely want to talk about that tomorrow as well, because that was a whole shebang as well. Shout out to Corey again, says, Fire Chief got ring money, but no apartment money. And you're telling the truth right now, Corey. You're on a fire when I have it. Says, so questions, does Brandon have one baby mama or two? He has an 11-year-old and an 8-year-old, but he was married 10 years to a woman he met only 6 months. That's a good question. I don't know.
It's his wife. It takes time to have the baby. So they got pregnant right away, and that's probably why they got married so quick too.
Fair play. Yeah, okay. No, I definitely hear that. Shout out to Corey for one more. Corey says, and we got the golden. He says, laugh my ass off. Bravo. East.
I'm telling you, I'm victory lap.
I hear it. If you're lying, I'm flying. And if I'm flying,
you
I'm
just
lying.
as Delulu as Emem. thinking you done got some victory out of this.
Look, Emem got what she wanted at the end. She got the ring, the husband. She good. She the winner.
Let me play my little clip.
Is yes, the new king.
We appreciate Corey for that $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Corey, and for all the super chats you've dropped in there as well. So thank you, Linda V, as well. Appreciate you. It's a blessing to have you guys sharing and paying as well. I guess I appreciate that. My bank account definitely appreciate it because right now it's looking a bit peak. Right now I'm cheaper than the file attendant. Right now, if anything, I'm gonna be searching on someone's couch. In fact, Sean, you got space? I can take average room if you need.
It's a no-go.
No bueno.
Cut it out.
Cut it out. On that note, I'll get to the next question. So obviously, Brandon introduced himself to Ike. He introduced himself to Ike. Said about he's like wanted to let him know that he's a fiancé, and he wanted to just introduce himself to the gentleman. I thought it was a nice gesture. Someone could say, or someone could say that he was being performative in that space by introducing himself, or maybe he wanted to do something for Emem, by introducing himself, just to let Emem know that he's got a back. And also sometimes it's nice just to be able to get someone back, let him know that, listen, hey Negro, she got a new man, it's me, what I'm saying to you. But let's have a look.
Doing, boss, I'm Brandon. I'm Brandon. Nice to meet you, man. Okay. How you doing, Brandon?
Yeah, that was definitely a moment. He let him know that he's short. He definitely let him know that he's 5 foot and he's 6 foot. Definitely that Brandon come over there was like, yeah, listen, just want to let you know I'm 6 foot plus. Just want to let you know I'm 6 foot plus. What's your thoughts? Brandon introduced himself to Ike. Performative, manipulative, game, psyching out. What's your thoughts on this? How did you see it? Someone said cringe in the chat. You think it was cringe? Was it? Oh, okay. Talk to me.
I mean, I tend to lead and kind of come out with a lot of stuff, but this was the cringiest power move, organized, orchestrated fiasco I've ever seen in my life. Like, if you really comfortable as a man, and we know you just sit in the cut, you just chill, you observe, you don't got, especially this isn't even your domain. Like you are a guest of your significant other, so you don't. That's like going to a baby shower or a wedding and you doing the fool. No, you just sit back, you chill, you introduce yourself, you keep it cool, and you keep it pushing. But how Brandon was doing was he was making it, and I don't know if Emem was trying to egg that on. I'm trying to give her the benefit of a doubt, but he was trying to make it about him, and he was basically kind of doing a power play, a power move by introducing himself, and he didn't need to do that. And if it was anybody else, it might have led to some furniture moving or something like that. But bro, I don't know you, so why are you just introducing? You could introduce yourself, but then even to throw on I'm Ikechi's or not Ikechi's, Emem's boyfriend or whatever he said at the end, he knew what he was doing. It was nasty work, and just the worst thing I could see. That might have been the cringiest moment of the episode. That, and then when Emem was like, I'm married, I have a ring, and then that was cringe too. But outside of that, this is a close second, if not first.
Yeah, it was cringy, man. He was just sizing that dude up because he could have sat on the couch and just chilled. He didn't have to say anything, right? Because I think he asked before that, who's that? She's like, oh, that's my ex-husband. He said, oh, let me introduce myself. For what? Ex-husband, right? There's no need for that. And he, like you said, he could have went over and said, hey, hi, I'm Brandon, right? Because it was a party for Thomas, quote. Everybody there was from his math. But he didn't have to, he sized him up and looked at him, gave him an aggressive handshake. But I didn't care. Even the whole I'm a fiance. Okay, cool. That's what it is. You helping me out some, It doesn't make any sense. But yeah, Brandon just wanted to see, it's one of those things. I've been to the gym. I'm swole. You're not. What you got, bro? She got something better. That's what he should have said. Like, hey, she with me now, not you. So sit down, little man. That's basically what he said. Like, yo, she would be, sit down, little man. It is what it is.
Yeah, I think that was unnecessary. He could have just waited to, he could have waited for Emem to do the introduction if there was even going to be one. But Ike was pressed. I know he was. He had a good comeback, though. Congratulations. But he was pressed, because if he wasn't pressed, a little bit annoyed at that, he wouldn't have made all that commentary like it won't last. You throwing them jabs, you're a little pressed, just a little bit, but he held his composure. I'll give him that in the moment. He held his composure. He didn't let her or him see him sweat. But that confessional told us everything we needed to know. He was annoyed. He was agitated. Because if he really didn't care, it would have been like, oh, well, I'm actually glad. Thank God. Happy for them.
Trey, you up?
He was just trying to make a scene. Trying to just, I guess, get a rise out of him. Listen, people, being petty is one thing, but let's keep it real. You can't show out and be petty. It only works if the other person actually engages back with you. If they just look at you crazy, like, all right, whatever, then you failed. You the one looks the fool. You look like a fool now. You jumped up for no reason. First of all, why are you here? But whatever. You jumped up for no reason to go introduce yourself, and just to say, yeah, how you doing, man? I'm Emem's fiance. What? Okay. All right. I actually answered it exactly how you supposed to answer it. All right. Okay. That's cool. Congratulations. Like, what else you wanted to say? So he just goes back to say, well, why the heck you jumped up for? They make this big scene. Even Emem, if you looked at Emem's face first she went, ooh. Then she went, yeah. And then she went, ooh, that's not going how I thought it was going to go. Because he didn't engage. And that's actually been the backdrop of their relationship. He got to a point where he never actually engaged with her. And that's what really started pissing her off. Like, he refused to engage with her. So it's just another instance. Unfortunately, you're not winning this. You're just not winning. For the most part, we've always been on your side for what they've shown us in your edits. Cool. But now you're doing things to make it seem like, you really big mad. I'm on top now. You don't want me, but this other man wants me. And he looks fraudulent by himself. I'm like, come on. Just stop it. This is not the way. This is not the way. But Yashawn was right. It did bother him, because when he went outside, he made that comment. I was like, so it did get to you a little bit. But as Yashawn said, he, at least in the moment, he held water. He's like, nah, you ain't about to catch me off guard or catch me off by square. He just looked at you like, okay, all right, cool. All right, congratulations. Congratulations. And he looked at everybody else and said, see what I was talking about? See what I was talking about? Plug and play.
I also think that when we talk about Ike's disdain for we think about it's Emem as a person, and I don't think that it's Emem as a person. I think it's what she stood for. He never really said anything that she did because it might have not been always overt or anything like that. I think that Ike's contention with Emem was because of he went into this experiment wanting somebody who he was going to, that was basically in it for maybe the same reasons, and it was to find love, not just find just a husband. I mean, ideally, you're on Married at First Sight to find a husband or wife, but also find love. And as desperate as Ike was to go to apply on this show for 2 times, I think that he came into the show with a lot of expectations, and Emem is the embodiment of him basically ruining his chances because she just wanted a husband. And so now his reactions are all based off of resentment. He didn't really care one way or another, but Emem might be the formation of, dang, like everything he says about Emem is all about like how she framed him up, about even with him saying, I like Southern, I'm from the South. Basically, he just kind of wanted to pursue her in a way, but he could have handled that a lot better, but it just was a cringe moment. And again, we'll get into it more tomorrow, but this, again, so many jewels and nuggets that you could pull out of that interaction, because it was such a cringy moment.
You want to say something, Sean?
Just like, I don't know why we want to sanitize Ike. Like, why does everything that Emem does wrong have to feel like it's justifying Ike? Like, I just feel like we don't need to draw those parallels. He is himself, and the things that he did are problematic. And we are now seeing some things that Emem is doing that are problematic. It's like, why we got to keep trying to build a bridge that there's no bridge that needs to be built? They need to be two separate islands. Ike is over here on one island, and Emem, and now her new fiance, Brandon, is on another.
Well, who's justifying it? We did
Easton?
exactly what you've been saying.
100%.
Oh, okay.
I never said he was.
You said this man showed up here looking for love, and he really wanted a wife. When has he ever presented himself to look that way?
I think at the beginning. I think at the beginning he presented like, it's hard for me to believe that anybody goes on the show and attempts to go on the show twice, not once, twice, moves and packs their entire life to be like, oh, I'm not gonna give this an honest shot. I'm hard pressed to believe that. I'm thinking, again, maybe it's far-fetched and not a popular opinion, because again, we already are imagining Ike as a villain, and we're already imagining Emem as a hero and as somebody who was a victim, which again, nobody is excusing Ike of his actions. I'm not trying to bridge it or anything like that. I'm just saying that there are some things that start to make a lot more sense and a lot more clarity, because again, for the majority of the season, we've been saying that Ike hasn't been communicating what's wrong, what's this, that, and the third. But sometimes it might not be a one thing. It might be that you feel like this person doesn't necessarily get you, or maybe their reasoning isn't as authentic as yours, and so you might not buy with them just immediately. I'm just saying I'm having this headcanon because it's starting to make a little bit more sense to me, where Ike was dropping the ball and communicating why he didn't, what the issue was with the Emem. That's all I'm saying. Again, you don't have to act like that.
He did communicate. He called her an a-hole. He said that she was predatory. Though that's not lack of communication. The only thing was, when he was asked how was she doing those things, he didn't have answers. And that's somebody who's just throwing things out there without actual evidence. It's not that he's not lacking communication. His communication skills were on point. He was very clear at getting his point across and how much he did not like her. So, and again, and I think you're missing what you're doing. But when you try to say, now I'm seeing that Emem is showing up this way, and this might explain why Ike was that way, those two things don't go together. Somebody shows up abusive because they're an abusive person. No matter who they get placed in front of, they're going to be abusive. And somebody that's desperate, just like, and I'll give him that. He was right about that, sensing some of Emem's desperation and how desperate she was just to be married. So somebody that's going to do that is going to do that with anybody. So she did it with Ike, and now she's doing the same thing with Brandon. But other than that, there's no crossover where his behavior is now more explained. I don't care about the villain. You can wee that all the way till the cows come home. I don't care about villains and heroes. I don't think she's a hero. I do think he's a villain. But, that's my point.
That's fair.
Yeah, he definitely came off a villain. But I see where Easton has a small point. The guy did come on here looking for love. He just didn't get the right person. So when you say he didn't come on right, he didn't get the person that he wanted. And he turned sour and became, he intensified who he was because he didn't get the right person. Started having fits because he didn't have the right person. If he had gotten the person that he wanted, we might have seen a different person. I'm not sure. But he came on the show looking for love. But, you know, we saw even in the scenes today, well, yesterday, we saw how needy Emem is and how she's willing to take anything, or as well, Trey says, somebody that she's been in a relationship before, but she's willing to just give in. She didn't have too many rejections or objections to Brandon, and she's willing to give in for him. So even in the introduction, she sat back like, "Yeah, this is my new man. Look at my new man. Go ahead. That's Ike. That's Ike over there. Go talk to her. Go say hi." And I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't do that, because she wanted to show off what she has now. Because if she didn't feel some type of way, why do you need to talk to Ikechi outside? Why do you need to have that private conversation with him if you don't think the way that your dude did it was wrong? Because y'all already had closure because you read your letter. There's no more closure. There's nothing else you can say to Ike or anything to Ikechi, anything. So, you know, she might have put Brandon up to go say hi and you know, shake his hand a little bit. But then again, Brandon seemed like the dude where, hey, I'm a fire chief. I got more pull. I got this. Let me go ahead and insert my authority in this situation to let you know that I'm the alpha dude in the room.
You know, for me personally, I've always had a struggle with these shows, especially like maths, because I have a thought process of every cast member that comes on this show has some type of severe social issue. It's the reason why they came on the show in the first place. But I try to balance that by saying, you know what? That still doesn't mean they did not come on here for the right reasons. I at least try to give them that, and then let them prove to me who they really are and why they really came on this show, presumably for. But it always been difficult for me. I'm like, half of the people come on here, they already got pre-existing issues, and most people do. We're gonna be real about it, us included. We all have our little issues and things like that. But most people that actually come on the show to do this, yeah, it's a little bit extra, a little over the line, and a lot of the times, it is brought out on the show in front of the camera. We see it. Like, okay, I see exactly why you're in the position that you are. And I'm quite sure we're going to go deeper into this, especially tomorrow when we start talking about some of the other cast members and how they were acting this episode. And yeah, everybody was just off, except for Camille and Thomas, but they had issues too. But I still liked them the most. You know, but hey.
This season definitely showed that everybody was extremely problematic, for one reason or another, and that, you know, it ain't all what you see on the cameras. It ain't everything. This is a heavily edited show, and so everybody is their own villain in their own right. Especially this season, like I felt like everybody. Maybe the only person who didn't do too much was Thomas. There's still justice for Thomas around here, but again, we're not talking about that. Where's Kojo at?
Kojo must be taking a nap somewhere.
A little power nap.
My boy over here eating.
I was eating some food. So I've had to go for prayer later on. I need to have a workout as well. Listen, so I love the conversation. I've got an earpiece in, so I'm always hearing what you guys are saying. Listen, I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I think in this situation, as I said before, Ike's a bastard. I can't put it past that. But I do understand what you're saying. There can be, that's what I said, I can understand that there can be some aspects when it comes to seeing that there may be some behaviors that maybe we can understand a bit more as to why he did what he did. But like, I think as Sean was saying, some of his behaviors didn't need her to do anything, which means he's actually a really big problem. You know what I'm saying to you? He's a really big problem. Because like the dinner table situation, that's no need for that. The him coming to the retreat, that's not on her. You know what I'm saying to you? Him calling her arsehole, that's not on her. So there are actual behavioral issues that he has that are problematic. And that's outside of Emem. So I see what both of you are saying. I'm not saying I'm saying I can understand how we can look at it more to see there's more behavioral issues as to why maybe some of the things went wrong in that relationship. And also I can also see the fact that he doesn't even need any help. He a bastard. He don't need help. In this one, he got to stay where he got to stay. Okay, he got to stay where he got to stay. Like he in the same villain category for me as Chris. Yeah, he's in the same villain category because it was unnecessary. It's like we know you don't like that person, we know you don't like them, but I think there's also a way like if this was a woman, I'll be pissed the same way I'm pissed at Ike. You know what I'm saying to you? I wouldn't want like you don't have to mistreat somebody like we said about Michelle. We do not have to mistreat somebody just because you don't like them, and that's what Ike did. Ike actually mistreated a person just because he didn't like the person or he didn't like what was going on. So after a while, he has to take that L. That's a huge L. So he's in the same category as Chris. You know what I'm saying, Chew? He's in that super villain category. Yeah, he in that category. Unfortunately, he has to stay in that category. You know what I'm saying? Okay, cool. One more question. I think I got one more. Because obviously she apologized. But let me read that super chat before we go. There was two more super chats. Okay. No, 3 more. 4. Shout out to Rose. She says, that's how I know Brandon paid for. He is doing his role effectively. Plug and play husband, baby. Corey says, Ike contempt with M is her mannerisms and views. Okay, all right, I hear you. That's what Easton was saying earlier on. Nola says, he wasn't looking for love. He ain't even want to talk. I hear it. Okay, I hear you. And then Corey says, M and Ike are both villains. M has control issues and Ike struggles to be open and vulnerable. Of course, they wouldn't work out. Chai. I hear it. Good points. Listen, I hear it. Everyone's got different points. And I'm not mad at the different points that are coming out. I guess I got 2 more questions because obviously we're going to finish in a few minutes. But the first one is, obviously we know that Emem actually went to apologize to Ike. He buoyed it so hard. He buoyed it. For us, he absolutely buoyed it. When he said, basically he didn't want to talk to him. That was painful to watch. I can't even lie to you. That when she went to apologize and she had to swallow it, the fact that he just said, I'm not having it. Like, I don't want to talk to you. Like, it's like, basically I'm letting you know I don't like your essence. I don't like your vibe. Leave me alone. And it felt like Emem just didn't get the memo. I wish I had a clip because it was vibrant, the way he rejected her, you know what I mean? But I want to get you guys' thoughts as well, though, as well in this situation. They were doing the most. The kissing in front of him was a little bit, they were doing the most. But I want to get your thoughts on this. The apology, what's your thoughts? She apologized for, obviously, the way that she dealt with I think it was the letter aspect, which again came back I'll take my little victory lap around Jericho. We did say that letter was a bit much, just a tad, and we appreciate the fact that her consciousness told her that it was a bit much. It was just the ending. It wasn't the whole letter. It was really more the ending part, not wishing him well. And she actually said it. She knows that her saying she just does not wish him well. That's what she said. So, a little bit of D and a man that comes to come and give you a ring will definitely change your heart and make you see things in a different way. So we appreciate the fact that she saw that. Sometimes you need a little help across that line. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. No one's there. Yeah, we've all been there. What's your thoughts on this? The apology? What is your thoughts on this apology? Because, shoot, old girl was apologizing and got rejected. I felt for Emem in that situation. Like, she did genuinely try to apologize. But what was all this talk about, because I care. You've got a whole man. I need you to park that bus right there. Park it. What are you on about? Because I still care. Why do you want to care? You know what I'm saying? Why does he need to know that you care? Park the park the bus. I don't understand why she needs to know that he cares. He doesn't care, and you shouldn't care. You care too much, and that's the problem. You hear me? Man, then what's going on? Easton and then Glenn and then Sean. Yeah, talk to me.
She cares about winning too much. She cares about the essence, the the accomplishment way too much. And so what she did was, again, we were being called emotional police about how she expressed herself with her 40-page letter. But again, this is another portion of my vindication, because she knew good dang well that deep down inside she was wrong for that. She let them folks gas her up. Again, because it's all everything with Ike and Emem was all scripted. I don't want after Ike found out that Emem just wanted a husband and not necessarily him, he was checked off that show. You can see when he went to the dinner date, that's why he was always the last person. Everything was scripted between them this entire time. And so now when she apologized, she let production gas her up. They say, girl, you, even when he delivered the divorce papers, she knew a little bit about that. I have a hard time believing that he just popped up there with one divorce paper in a green folder. I'm hard pressed to be like, she had a full face. It was beat to the gods. It was looking good. I said, yeah, somebody's tipping you off or something like that. She had her little lines going, and they said, yeah, this is gonna be your last time to tell Ike that about your little piece. So you might as well get your scriptures together, get your lines together, get your bars together, and you write out your letter and you deliver it to him, and we're gonna give you a chance. And so that's what happened. That was scripted too. So this point, she knew that she was upset. She was wrong for that. She was dead wrong. She gonna apologize. I'm glad Ike said he don't want to talk to her, and then she almost cried. I said, now Sister Soldier, you gonna have to be strong. You can't I can't have you over here about to fold, and you gave this 4-page letter last time. So my whole thing with the memo, this last bit was this is just what she deserved. The 4-page letter was desperate and a reach, and this is what you get. The residuals of that is her apologizing and looking like a fool, because I basically said, I don't want to talk to you, and she broke down. I said, nuh-uh, not today. You wrote that letter. You got to be strong. Stand on it.
Yeah, I have no problem with her apologizing. Especially when you feel that you're wrong. That's the grown thing to do, right? The responsible thing to go apologize. He doesn't have to accept it. Let's be honest. The reality of it is he doesn't have to accept the apology. In his mind, I think in Ike's mind, when she read that letter and he did his confessional, he was like, I'm done with you. I'm not here for you. I'm here because production made me come here. I'm here because it's this Thomas's thing. If I don't have to say anything to Emem, I'm cool. I think that's how Ike was rolling with it, right? Even you go back to when they were the argument last week, he was chilling. He didn't say nothing. He's like, I'm not gonna say nothing. Camille had to egg him on. Right, he's at the point now. I'm here so I don't get fined. I'm here just so they're not taking no money from me. I'm here just so I can get a paycheck. She took it personal because he didn't accept her apology, which I don't know why you took it personal. If you knew this guy and you knew the relationship and you knew who he was, what he showed you for the last 2 months, you should have known he wasn't going to take your apology. Whether your dude is here or not, whether your friend is here or not, he's not going to accept it. He's not going to take it. Because he told her clearly, I don't want anything to do with you. How many times does she have to hear from Ike that he doesn't want to do with you? That's why I thought it was cringy. Like, yo, what you upset for? The man already told you he don't want to deal with you, but you still want to apologize. Take the apology. Hey, Ike, I apologize. Cool, appreciate you. Hey, I'm moving in and move on. All the extra drama is not. You do your part, which is to apologize. He has to do his part to accept it, keep it moving. If you don't accept it, you did what you were supposed to do. But she just got too emotional for me on that. Nothing wrong with apologizing, but you can't make somebody accept the apology that you give
them. I'm going to be a responsible adult and give you petty training at the same time with this statement. If you're going to apologize, make sure you mean it, first of all, because I don't think she really meant it. She's just trying to come off, looking better than she had been the last couple of weeks. Number one. Number two, why are you apologizing to a man that has already proven you can't get to in front of your new dude? at that. Makes no sense. It makes no sense. That's why I said earlier, your petty doesn't work unless the other person is engaging with you. Okay? It just doesn't. Like, and her apologizing when she did it, I just was like, okay. I looked dead at her. I was like, first of all, why are you doing this? Second of all, you don't really mean it. The only reason why you apologize is because I think she went back and replayed those events in her head for the last couple of weeks, especially that last argument. Was like, you know what? I didn't come off looking the best way that I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't me normally, at least in her mind. So, but still, that's not what the apology is for. The apology is really for her to make herself feel better. But again, he wasn't engaging. So your apology just looks foolish. And everybody looking at you like, well, okay, what was that for? He was literally leaving out the door, about to bounce. Hey, can I talk to you? Nah, not really. Nah, only that. Okay with it. I want to apologize. Nah, I holler. Now, just standing there looking kind of crazy a little bit. I don't know. It was just weird to me. She could have just kept it to herself and kept it moving.
Go for Sean.
Yeah, I just wish she would have known when to hold him and when to fold him. And I don't think this setting was the best setting to issue an apology. She could have sent him a text message, or maybe just instead of asking to talk to him, because the last time she talked to him, it went wrong and left, and she wound up, really berating him a little bit. She could have just said, hey, listen, I want to apologize to you. Would you be open to hear my apology? Just lead with what you want to do before saying, hey, I want to talk to you, because I'm sure he don't want to talk to her about anything. But maybe, just maybe, if she would have said, I want to apologize for the last comments or the last things I said to you, are you open to hear it? And then she could go from there, see what he says. If he says no, then say, hey, I respect that. But I think she is just very eager and awkward, as we've seen Emem show up. She's in this love bubble with this dude, and she just wants to just spread love everywhere, telling him she cares about him, she still loves him. She just, all these platitudes. I just need her to stop. Just stop, heal. This is why. Again, it's not healthy for her to be in a whole nother relationship so soon, because your emotions are all whacked out and all over the place. So she just really needs some time to sit with herself, deal with her emotions, deal with some of the experiences that she had before she's jumping and monkey barring from another relationship and right out of another one, especially a marriage and into an engagement.
There's also a portion of me that thinks that this was also a little bit of a damage control situation, because imagine, one of your last moments with them was you going off on Ikechi and him not having a lot of interaction with them. So they're already kind of on your side, but they get to see you a little bit, him being like, see, this is what I'm dealing with. Plus, so they get a little bit kind of like, what's going on here with you? Then layering, because they have never seen her like that. They've always seen her in the position of Ike berating her, but they've never really seen her be, kind of go in like that. Plus, you done got married to this guy that you met 11 minutes ago. So they all looking like you can't, this something's up right here. Something's up. So I felt like that apology was more damage control than anything. I don't think that she meant it, but I think that she was trying to be like, quell the thoughts and opinions of the rest of the castmates, because she's looking kind of crazy. She's going outside right now.
I mean, listen, I don't think it was that bad. I just think that it was bad in terms of embarrassment, in terms of her actually apologizing and him just denying it. That's what I felt. Just that's what it was bad for me. You get what I'm saying to you? I respect her for wanting to apologize because she realized she had gone too far. I can always respect people that are gonna check back, realize they made a mistake, go and say what they said. Now, whether her motivations were clean or not, most people's motivations for apologizing isn't clean. Madison ain't apologizing because it's clean. She don't care. David don't care, and she probably half cared, but don't want to bad relations going forward. Also, probably because as well, I do feel like she did one of those things where I always say that people, when they get energized and they've pent up frustrations, sometimes you say things that you probably wouldn't ordinarily say yourself, right? So someone else might have said it and they would have felt no way. They ain't going back on it. It is what it is. I said it. But I don't know if Emem is that kind of way. I think she wants to be a little bit sharp, but not necessarily go over the board. So, to be fair, I'm not mad at it per se. You know what I'm saying to you? I do feel a little bit sorry because like he literally denied her apologies right there and then. I just think it was just silly for her to be saying, it's because I care. It's like, baby, stop trying to care. Okay, get it through your mind that Negro don't want you. He's abusive to you. You need not his endorsements nor his validations. You got a new man. You know what I'm saying to you? Stick to the new man and enjoy the new man. You know what I'm saying to you? Because each time you do these, he making you look bad. He making you look bad. And I don't want you to look bad. You know what I'm saying to you? Any other thoughts on this apology? No? Well, listen, Rose has sent us a super chat, one more before we bring it to a close. M is like a politician. The Brandon plotline is paid for and is used to restore her rejection ego. And I ain't mad at it. She took notes from Mad and Dave. Shout out to Rose as well with the super chats coming in. Listen, shout out to you guys who've been on point doing the super chats as well. I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying to you? I got to do a special wolf for you guys.
Is a U.S. The new king.
Thank you. We appreciate y'all. Obviously, I'm gonna get Sean to do the benediction because it's time. You know what I mean? Like, gotta do a benediction. But before we go, I just want to say. For those of you who've been watching, thank you so much. We had almost 500 people in the room, and it's been good. Ever since we've gone members only, it's really been making the numbers work. So we need more members only chats. To be honest, every chat is more members only, to be honest. But I'm appreciating you guys who are obviously part of the membership. Those of you in the room who are contributing and who are always chatting as well, who are here. We're back tomorrow night for the super panel. So I want you guys to turn up again, 8 p.m. Probably 8:15 p.m. I'll do that. 8:15 p.m. EST. We'll go live. I'm trying to get the girls for at least a good half an hour so they can get their point because they've been crying to me, talking about they want their little time too. So I thought create a little safe space for them to have a little half an hour, to discuss this Emem and Ikechi and the Brandon situation. If they can get their stuff together, we're gonna get them on for a good half an hour so that before the men come on and we do the whole panel. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm trying to be more tender hearted. You know what I'm saying to you? You feel me? I'm trying to be more tender hearted. But yeah, Sean, please give us the benediction.
You got it. Look at that growth. We appreciate it, Coach. Look at you growing, yielding. But I think we had a good conversation. I don't know how much we accomplished, but I think we at least came to an understanding that sometimes, it takes a little while for us to see a true person's character. And sometimes, it lets us know that there's some flaws in us all. And I think, we all need to sit and heal, and we shouldn't be monkey barring from relationship to relationship. We should be very well aware of signs when people are going too fast. Our relationships are not the Autobahn where there's no speed limit. We need to have some speed restrictions. We need to be slowing down. We need to ask questions. We need to give people time to show up and see who they really are versus the representatives that they present. Back to you, Coach.
I appreciate that, Sean, as well. Thank you very much, boys. You've been absolutely amazing. I've been wonderful as well. Just want to let the audience know as well. I have slightly opened my diary for coaching. Some of you already started booking. I didn't even get to even say anything. I'm already booked this week. I was like, damn. But for those of you who obviously want coaching, I have some spots that are open, and I mean very few spots. I limited it because I wanted to still be, I still wanted to be a trooper. I wanted to help as many people as I wanted. I think I got probably like 5 or 6 during the course of the week where I've said, obviously, you guys can pay whatever you want, because just for those, please, if you know you can afford it, please don't take that spot up. Because I offered it on purpose this way, so that those of you who are financially burdened or it's a little bit more difficult to get coaching or whatever, I want those spots for those people, because like I said, I really want to help people. You know what I'm saying to you? For those of you who know you can afford it, please don't take up those spots, because it goes up fast. And last year, I actually couldn't cope. I actually was overburdened. So I do have a few spots that are there. So please do take advantage of it as well for the next, I think I'm going to have it for the next 2 or 3 months. I'll keep it open. And then it'll go strictly only paid. So there's a set price. So please, we do have a new offer as well this time. So I'm offering obviously a discount on 5 coaching sessions. So it will be much discount. I think it's like £125 off. So those 5 sessions. So rather than paying a full price, £125 off, having 5 sessions booked straight away. So if you are in need of coaching as well, maybe it's around attachments, whether it's around dating, whether it's around relationships with family, friends, maybe you're going into a space of dating and you want to get just do a little, just a little mechanical check, as they'll call it, but a psychological one at that. Please do, by all means, reach out to me. My coaching link is in the description box as well. And we look forward to seeing you guys as well, honestly. It's been a blessing. Last year we had 3. I think we saw over 350 people. We did actually, I think I did over probably around about 700 hours within about 6 months span. So it was crazy. A lot of good work was done. So I look forward to doing it again this season as well. So honestly, if you are in need of some coaching, please do use the link. If it does get booked up, I'll now bring out the wait list. Yeah, because last year we had too many people waiting and they were cussing me out. So there'll be a wait list for you guys as well, so you can jump on that, okay? So I appreciate you. Please, audience members, be safe out there. We're going to be back tomorrow night with Married at First Sight. Friday night, I'm sure Jay and El Cid are going to go live again. Saturday, I'm around with the Super Panel again about Ready to Love. It's cooking. It's getting warmer. As well, and then Sunday, myself and El Cid, 3 p.m. We're gonna be doing obviously Married at First Sight Australia, which I haven't even watched any of the episodes this week, but it looks like it is balling. They are killing it over there, bro. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, all right. So we gonna definitely see. Someone said, when's the book going? How's the book going? The book is going. It's going. That's what's happening. It's going. And I'm working on a workbook for you guys as well. So when we do have the sessions, you guys will be able to work through that. But anyway, that will come as we go. But yeah, listen, audience, we're going to see you again soon. Much love, much appreciation. And it's been fun tonight. We're going to be back tomorrow night. So get yourselves ready, okay? Prepare yourselves, because we're going to go at it again tomorrow night as well, okay? So don't do anything I wouldn't do. Be safe. And we're going to love you. We're going to leave you, okay? We're going to love you. And we're going to leave you. But let me leave you with a little clip before we go.
Are you done? Are you done?
Little black book. You know what time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is. Time it is.